Chelsea Football Club, a club that is destined for success, or a club that is overhyped and overrated and doomed to fail on this major project. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome to another video. Yes, today's video is going to centre around Chelsea and Enzo Maresca, who have started life together pretty well at Stamford Bridge so far this season. The Blues find themselves in 6th place, the Blues find themselves taking 14 points from their opening 8 games, and they've actually probably defied a lot of people's expectations so far this season, including my own. We're going to be talking about life at Stamford Bridge right now. We're going to be talking about Chelsea. We're going to be talking about Enzo Maresca. And we're going to be talking about whether this project is actually destined for success or whether it is doomed to fail. But without further ado, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down there about Chelsea. It is a very opinionated and very intriguing topic, so please do leave your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. That'll make for great and interesting reading down below, down there. Please, it will be great to hear from you all. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's talk Chelsea and Enzo Maresca and everything else in between. I've been someone that has been very vocal on Chelsea. I feel like I have praised them when I feel like they need to be praised. I feel like I've been critical of them when I feel like they need to be critiqued. Either way, though, this project has been very interesting and very intriguing to watch from the outside looking in. It's been a very roller coastery type of project from the outside looking in. It's hard to imagine what it would have been like to actually be a fan of Chelsea going through these times. But I think it's safe to say that so far this season, Chelsea have been doing all right. I don't think they've been outstanding by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think they've been dreadful either. I think they've been just going about their business to a point where I can now look at my Premier League predictions at the start of the season and go, I may be wrong. Now, of course, nothing's ever determined 8 games into a season, but I predicted Chelsea to finish mid-table, and I can safely say that if they continue to improve the way that they are doing going forward, that's going to be horribly wrong, and that's going to be one of the worst takes of the season. Now, of course, at the time, I was struggling to see the method behind the madness at Chelsea. I was struggling to see how their transfer strategy was going to fit in with a starting 11 and their overall squad. I was struggling to see the players that they brought in and what they would actually add to the squad and what they would actually do with that squad. I was struggling to see who would step up this season. I was struggling to see how Enzo Maresca himself was going to fit in with Chelsea and a fan base that is notorious for being impatient and easily irritated and frustrated. I was struggling to see any positives from Chelsea's summer of madness, in my opinion. But, as it turns out, some of the signings that they've made have been really good, or have settled down pretty well so far. There has actually been method to their madness, and Enzo Maresca has started life under Chelsea in a pretty well fashion. So I can hold my hands up and say that I may be wrong. I also may be wrong at the end of the season as well, given my predictions. And I can safely say that I didn't expect Chelsea to start the season off the way that they have done. I was expecting a few more inconsistencies. I was expecting a bit more frustration and turmoil at the club. But so far, there's been very little of the sort. It's not perfect, but the building blocks are there to build upon. The platform is there for Enzo Maresca to certainly build upon. And yesterday's performance against Liverpool was certainly something to add to those blocks. It wasn't an outstanding performance by either side, in all honesty. And I think upon reflection of the game, yes, Liverpool did deserve to maybe win that game. But it was a pretty close game, I would say. I wouldn't say it was overly to do with Liverpool. I wouldn't say it was overly a team performance. I would say it was based on individual performances that really got Liverpool across the finish line. I would say the likes of Curtis Jones, Ryan Gravenberch, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mo Salah were exceptional in that game, and that's what really got Liverpool across that finish line. Darwin Núñez as well, special mention to him. I thought he was really good in a defensive sense. Chelsea had some decent performances as well, mainly the likes of Moises Caicedo and Romeo Lavia in midfield. I thought Madueke had Robertson on toast in that first half, but as the second half grew on, Robertson got better and better and more into the game. But they didn't really use Madueke fully to their advantage, and they didn't really use him whilst he had Robertson a little bit on the ropes. I feel like it was a bit of a missed opportunity. I thought in the second half, Pedro Neto came on and gave some energy and directness to Chelsea's attack, but his end product just was not there. Other than that, I feel like Chelsea's performances were riddled with mistakes. They were riddled with missed opportunities, and although it is that side of things can be frustrating and annoying, it did seem, to me at least from the outside looking in, that you can take that performance, you can take a lot of positives from it, and you can build upon that for the future. And that's why I can see why Chelsea have a lot of hope, optimism, and excitement going into the future. There's been a past few seasons of real darkness for Chelsea under their new ownership and the new umbrella of Clear Lake and Todd Bowley. It hasn't exactly been the perfect start for them in terms of their new ownership, and there seems to be turmoil behind the scenes and things. But it does seem like maybe finally, with a combination of both Bowley's ideas and Clear Lake's ideas, that there does seem to be some method behind the madness. And that could be a positive thing for Chelsea going forward. And if things continue to obviously go the way they are, and if things continue to improve, then Chelsea fans are going to be in for an exciting, however long Maresca stays there for, and obviously however long the ownership stays there for. Yes, it's not perfect. Yes, there are issues within that squad especially. There are issues behind the scenes that need to be cleared up. We know that. But it is heading in the right direction, it seems. It seemingly is heading in the right direction. And there are things that need to be cleared up. There are things that need to be sorted out. But it does look, for the most part, positive for Chelsea. They do seem to be a club that is heading in the right direction towards future success. They have a midfield that is looking solid. I think they have a £105 million problem in Enzo Fernandez. But other than that, their midfield is pretty solid. Moises Caicedo and Romeo Lavia yesterday, like I say, were brilliant. And I think that needs to be a starting pair in midfield if you're going to do the double pivot from last to go forward with. The wingers, despite the fact that I and a lot of people did ridicule them in the summer, seem to have actually settled down well. Madueke seems to have improved. Sancho seems to have fitted in pretty well. I know he didn't have the best of games yesterday, but he seems to have settled in pretty well at Chelsea. Nicholas Jackson's scoring goals. Cole Palmer seems to be going from strength to strength. Had a bit of a quiet game yesterday, but could be a bit of a one-off, a bit of a bad day at the office. We'll see. I think there does need to be a bit of a conversation around his performances in the big games, but that could be left for a potential future note if obviously those things kind of continue. I just see issue with the goalkeeper and defence. Now, a lot of people will say that they need a striker. I could fully understand that. But their defence, for me, is still very shaky. Their defence, to me, is a weak point that I think could be exploited further. I think we've already seen it a little bit exploited this season in the amount of goals Chelsea have conceded at certain times against certain opposition. And I feel like yesterday it was just littered with mistakes, and that's why Liverpool were able to win that game. The penalty was riddled with Chelsea mistakes. even the penalty that originally was given and not given, riddled with mistakes over poor defending to allow Jones to get into the box as well as he did. And then, of course, for the second Liverpool goal, I mean, the least said about the defending there, the better as far as what Chelsea are concerned. And the goalkeeper, very, very shaky. Chelsea have about 12 different goalkeepers. Surely one of them has to be better than Robert Sanchez. I don't think they can be much worse than Sanchez. But surely one of them has to at least be a little better, surely. You would imagine. Give one of them a run. Well, give one of them the starting the starting position. Like, I don't understand. Robert Sanchez to me is not a good goalkeeper. Some of his goalkeeping yesterday, some of his passing out from the back, some of his nervy moments. I mean, he almost let Gakpo in by just passing it straight to him. It's abysmal. It's abysmal. And you don't win anything by having a below average goalkeeper. Everybody knows that. So, yeah, I think that position certainly needs to be looked at. But there is something there to be built upon. There is something there to be looked at, to be modified, to be changed a little bit, and to be improved upon. And that is mainly the bottom line of this whole Chelsea thing. I've been very critical of Chelsea. I've been very... what's the word I'm looking for here? I've been very vocal. Let's just go with vocal. Vocal on this whole Chelsea project. I'm just saying that I can see the improvements. But what I am going to say, I can see the positives, I can see the improvements. But what I am going to say is I still think they are a little bit overrated, and I still think they are a little bit overhyped by certain members. Certain members, not all members, of the Chelsea fan base. And that's really where my frustration was yesterday. For as much as I think you can praise a loss, you can see the positives in a loss and you can go, okay, we lost, the better team won, we get that, but there was still plenty of positives to take from the game. I get that. My frustration yesterday really did arrive from certain Chelsea fans that have been overhyping and overrating certain members of their squad for the past year to 18 months. And then coming away from a defeat to Liverpool, who some of them don't rate themselves, some of them find that overrated and overhyped themselves, and sort of praise the performance and bring out this sort of underdog mentality that this Chelsea side gave Liverpool a good run for their money. Yes, a Chelsea side which cost about $2 billion during the reign of Clearlake and Todd Bowley, that they gave Liverpool a good run for their money. I don't know where this weird underdog mentality has come from. Maybe it also stems from certain Liverpool fans that I've seen this past week claim that Liverpool are going to annihilate Chelsea. Liverpool are going to give Chelsea a funeral and destroy them or whatever. Maybe it comes from certain Liverpool fans like that. I don't know. But the weird narrative coming out of the game yesterday was little Chelsea, or to me at least, it seemed like, little Chelsea gave Liverpool a good run for their money, and I'm a little bit confused by it, especially from those Chelsea fans that have been overhyping certain members of their squad and even saying that their overall squad could actually beat Arsenal or could rival Arsenal or is just as good or even better than the Arsenal squad. In my opinion, Arsenal, I put at the beginning of the season, we're going to go on and win the Premier League. I don't think Liverpool will. As much as I would love them to, I don't think Liverpool will. But at the same time, I don't understand how you can say that Chelsea's squad is as good or even better than Arsenal's, who a lot of people have put to win the league this season, and then pull out the sort of underdog card against a Liverpool side who, yes, were at home, but I still think if you have the squad to beat them, you have the squad to beat them, right? That's just my take on it. I'm just a bit confused by certain people that have overhyped and overrated their squad. Look, I think there is a lot to be improved upon at Chelsea, but I see the positives. I see why Chelsea fans are excited. I see the hope and I see the optimism, and I get that. I just find certain people that overhype their squad to be a little bit weird, a little bit hypocritical at times. And if I'm being completely honest with the performance yesterday from Chelsea, I felt Liverpool controlled the game for large parts. I felt Liverpool allowed Chelsea to have the ball, and Chelsea didn't really do much with it in an attacking sense. I wasn't necessarily worried, barring one or two moments. So I think there has to be improvement there. But I also see how Chelsea was strong in the midfield, and they really did stop Liverpool from creating too much themselves. And when Liverpool did, apart from obviously the 2 goals, of course, it was really Liverpool that let themselves down in the final third. It really, really was. And I think, like I say, there has to be improvement there in terms of defensively. Attacking wise, maybe you could say it was a bad day at the office considering the amount of goals that Chelsea have scored this season. You could maybe argue that, or you could maybe argue that Liverpool had a game plan, they stuck to it, and they executed it very well, because it was a very good defensive performance from Liverpool yesterday. Chelsea struggled to create a lot going forward, or at least clear-cut opportunities. There was only really the Nkunku chance very late on that I can remember being a little bit worried about. But apart from that, apart from the goal and that chance, I don't think they created too much. So I do think there are things that obviously need to be looked at by Enzo Maresca. I do think there are certain things that this Chelsea squad need to address. I do think they are heading in the right direction. I do think that they have got the platform to build upon. But my message to Chelsea fans is, don't get too ahead of yourselves. Stop overhyping your players. Stop overrating them. Just let them be who they are and what they are. Praise the ones that you can actually praise. Praise your Cole Palmers. Praise your Moises Caicedos. Maybe even, I know he's not quite there yet, but Romeo Lavia, every time I see him in a Chelsea shirt, impresses me. Praise them ones, because no one can really hold an argument against those. There are tiny arguments, but they are ones that can be rectified by good performances in certain games. Praise them. Oh, hype them up. Cool. I'm fine with that. But certain other members of your team, they need to step up before you can hype them up too much. I'm just saying that I just find some of the overhype and some of the overrated comments a bit weird. Just keep your feet grounded. And I know that obviously Chelsea fans are having to learn about patience this year under Maresca, and it's not really a word that is in a lot of Chelsea fans' dictionaries. So I understand that you're having to learn a lot about it this season, but just keep your feet grounded, keep your head cool, and just go with it. Just enjoy it for what it is. Enjoy the journey for what it is. For me, Chelsea played alright yesterday. Wasn't something to write home about. Wasn't outstanding by any stretch of the imagination. I feel like it was a little bit overrated, but you can still find certain things overrated and good at the same time, based on how certain people talk about whatever it is they're talking about. For me, Chelsea are heading in the right direction. They've done better than what I expected and anticipated so far this campaign, but there's still a lot more to come, of course. Anyway, those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of Chelsea? What do you make of the start to the season that they've had and the start to the season under Enzo Maresca? I'd love to know what you guys think and feel down below. Your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. Wait for great interest in reading down in that comment section. So please do use and abuse that section, people, and talk to me on this intriguing topic. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way up if you enjoy the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever be greatly appreciated. Thank you for your continued or even brand new support. It is very much appreciated. I love it. I love you all. I love it from you guys. It's absolutely amazing and awesome. So can't thank you enough for all of that. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will speak with you all again soon. Another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks again for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon.